Hello everyone and welcome back to Collegedunia Study Abroad. My name is Swapnil and I am back with another international student who is right now in Canada studying from the York University. He is pursuing his bachelor's degree in computer science from the York University. And did you know that York University has jumped 100 ranks in the recent QS 2024 rankings? In this video, we'll be talking about a lot of details about the York University, its campus life, the admission process, the tuition fee, the job prospect, and many more things. Watch this whole video till the end. And before we move forward in our conversation, subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the bell icon so that you are getting regular study abroad updates. And if you have any questions, any queries related to studying abroad, or in general want to know more about York University, head to the first link in our description box, fill in your basic details, and our study abroad experts will reach out to you very soon. We also have two very interesting offerings: the visa guarantee package and the offer letter guarantee package. So do not forget to check them out as well. Now let's move forward in our conversation, but do subscribe to the channel. Hi Aarush, how are you doing? Do you want to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi Swapnil, how are you doing? Yeah, sure. Hi guys, I'm Aarush and I'm pursuing my Bachelor of Computer Science from York University, honors degree. I'm originally from Delhi and completed my whole high school in India and got somewhere around 90% in my 12th grade and had a 7 band in IELTS. I'm also a national science exhibitionist and do quite a lot of programming as a hobby. So yeah, that's all about me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You have a great history with, you have a great tie-up with coding and programming, I guess, right?
Yeah.
When did you thought about कि अब मुझे बाहर जाके अपनी studies pursue करनी है and I want to study in Canada only. When did that happen?
I think I was like always intrigued by, like I used to watch videos of abroad professors, like US professors, and the way they used to teach like different concepts practically. Like I am quite keen on learning things practically and not just theoretically from books. So that like from 9th grade, to be honest, I was preparing for how I'm going to go abroad, which university I should go in. Obviously, over that time, I was not really knowledgeable, and everyone needs a reality check. Everyone thinks like, okay, I'm going to Harvard, I'm going to Stanford.
Right,
But yes,
right.
from that time, like I started having like interest for studying abroad, and then slowly, as I gained more knowledge, and then how to apply, how much, which universities I could apply, then yeah, that's how I started.
Cool. That's awesome. But why did you not plan to go to US or UK? Why only Canada?
So yeah, I took like a lot of points on how and where to go. So US, quite a long process. Obviously, I-20s, filling up all that, getting required money, showing it up. US visa, one of the toughest to get
Right,
through.
right.
So that's one of the things. And even let's just leave that part. US in terms of safety, not at all good, I would say, because things are happening. If you stay on campus, obviously it's fine. Not a lot of things happen. But I've been following a YouTuber called Aarush,
Right.
sing in USA. A lot
US.
of people.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. So he used to like show things on his Instagram or YouTube, like what's happening. Even in Georgia Tech University, which is like quite known university, things used to happen on campus, like people getting shot, stabbed, and things like that. So even my parents and I personally was not like keen to go to the US, and that's why I just removed it from my list. Although I had admissions in University of Illinois, University of Texas, and a couple other universities overall, New York University. So
Canada, talking about Canada then, Canada is a very safe space for international students or what?
It's kind of a bit debating topic. So currently, taking in consideration the situation, what's happening right now, some people outside will not think like that. But overall, I felt like it's kind of fine. You need to be aware of your surroundings everywhere. It's not just like specific. You don't need to get into fights. You need to just ignore people who are not like in the right mind state. So you just need to do that. Overall, if you go to your university, come back home at right time, when it's like evening 6 or 7, I usually come at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock from home every day, and so to home every day. and it's kind of fine. You go through, because I am always traveling through the subway, then directly the bus through the stations, and my bus just gets me off at my home. So it's absolutely fine.
Perfect.
But if you are trying to be daring and want to go कि हाँ यार खतरों के खिलाड़ी करना है और रातों को बाहर निकलना है, तो anything could be answered.
Right. Very, very perfectly said. Of course, we would never want कि कोई भी international student या for that matter anybody who's going abroad or even who's living here in India इतना खतरों के खिलाड़ी ना बने, right? Cool. Now, coming back to your admission process, when did you start applying for the York University? And moreover, what all colleges did you shortlist yourself for? And then कहाँ पे applications डाले? कहाँ से accepts आए? कहाँ से rejects आए? Can you tell me something about that?
In Canada itself?
Anywhere. Were you also choosing other countries for that matter?
Yeah. So I started in the US, Canada, and UK. So I applied all three places. In the US, I applied, as I said, the University of Texas, Illinois. I got most of them, except Harvard, Yale, and Stanford, because their financial requirements are quite high. And if you say them, and even in loan companies, they won't give you a loan for so much, because they are like 70-80 lakhs per year.
Right.
For 4 years, it will be around 3 to 4 or 5 crores.
But wasn't Yale or Harvard providing any scholarship or financial grant that would have helped you?
They don't do exactly that much, unless you are like exceptionally great, like you have done so much in projects and programming. I do programming, but I'm not like a lot into it. So that's the thing. And to get a scholarship is very, very hard in Yale and Harvard.
Right, of course.
Cornell में तो मिलेगा ही नहीं.
हाँ, right. So फिर और कहाँ पे applications डाले?
Well, University of Texas and Illinois I got over there, and then Canada I applied into University of Waterloo, York University obviously, University of Windsor, and U of T में करना था, but overall दिन का school की तरफ से process था, and then COVID के चलते school से connection भी हमारे थोड़े कम हो गए थे. तो मैंने फिर वहाँ पे skip कर दिया.
Okay, all right. And इनमें से कहाँ से तुम्हें rejects आए और कहाँ से acceptance आए?
Canada में हर जगह से acceptance आ गया था.
So why did you only choose York University? Why not University of Waterloo or Toronto?
Yeah, so University of Waterloo is like in Kitchener basically. मैंने दोनों का check किया कि क्या सीखना. And York University is kind of like a university which quite a lot like motivates students to go into different things. York University just got like I think 3rd or 4th rank in Times Higher Education ranking for sustainability.
Right.
I have personally been into sustainability a lot because, as I said, I'm a national science exhibitionist, so I used to go a lot for exhibitions and make projects on sustainable development goals. So I was like, if the university is promoting that, I would definitely go there, because then I will be able to pursue more on my projects and do something for the world. So the reason I chose York, so I got acceptance in Waterloo as well. It was obviously expensive first of all, and then I was thinking whether the money I'm investing will be a good investment, like whether it will be giving me how much it will be giving back. So York University overall is like main city Toronto. Quite a good campus, big campus, promotes sustainability, and cost friendly, cost affordable. So all these things all together, I thought,
perfect. I think those parameters that you set for yourself, that you decided for yourself, right, were the most appropriate parameters that an international student should consider. Okay, now talking about the admission process for York University. Application process कब start हुआ? What all steps were required? How many LORs, SOPs? Can you take us through your whole admission process?
Oh yeah. So for York University, on any Canadian university, unless like Waterloo में आपको 2 से 3 LORs चाहिए होते हैं. SOPs आपको 2 से 3 होते हैं. Why do you want to go in Waterloo? What leadership qualities you have for Waterloo? What you're going to do in Waterloo, which is going to help. the university. What are you bringing into the university? York, York is more of academic scores you need to put in on your OUAC portal. Then they open up a My File. Okay, उनका अपना portal है. They transfer all your details over there, and the whole process starts over there. You need to put up a personal statement, and mainly they want essays and LORs if you are applying for like particularly for scholarships. So if you're going to apply for that, then you definitely need to write a lot of essays for them. But if you're just applying normally, you just need your grades, IELTS score, put it on OUAC portal, then they will go on to OUAC, then from OUAC their own portal, and then you need to submit your grade 12 scores, expected or whatever you have got, and yeah, you just get like in 2 to 3 months admission decision whether you've been admitted or not. But obviously York is quite highly selective now,
right?
And it was before as well, because from now, like as they have reached the third ranking in THE, and they are slowly exponentially increasing in US ranking as well. So they were like on 400, now they are on 300, and I think by next year they will be on 250 or something.
Okay.
So their ranking is increasing quite fast. So the admission process is going to be quite selective and difficult.
Right. Interesting. So for York, so you came in 2023 intake.
Yeah. So I applied in 2021 for 2022 fall intake.
Okay.
But due to like my some personal things, I had to move to the UK with my family because my father had a transfer. Okay. So I just deferred my admission to the other year.
Acha. All right. Yeah. Now talking about your visa process, because you've moved to UK, how did your visa interview and the whole visa process was looking like?
Everything is similar for everyone. So only thing which differs, first of all, if you are applying from India, you usually try to go for GIC.
Right.
Because GIC is the fastest way to get, because you are investing every money, like your fees, you have already paid the whole fees. In GIC, you have given like 12,000 or 10,000. I think that's what the amount is. $10,000 in the GIC, that you have your expenses for the first year. So technically, you have invested all your money in Canada. That you will be there. That's sure, and you have money for living. So that's how it whole thing works. But and the other way you can do in India, which is similar to the UK, is just pay half of the fees, or just show the proof of funds, and just show proof of funds of living and the fees of first year, and that's it. And show the offer letter, go for the medical. Obviously in India you need to go for the medical. There are a list of countries which need to go for the medical, which doesn't. So UK doesn't come in one of the needs for medical, so I didn't have to give a medical.
Okay.
And then for in the UK, I obviously went to the other general way, which I said, not GIC. I just showed proof of funds, and I got my visa like early, because obviously there are less applications overall as compared to India in the UK. But the whole process is same. It's just like you're going to a different visa office and talking with someone, giving the biometrics. But the whole process of applying either in Canada or India is same. Only difference, in UK you don't have GIC, you just apply generally. In India you apply to GIC.
Okay, all right, perfect. Yeah. So now your visa process is done, your application process is done. When did you receive a reward from York University once you completed your application process? What was the timeline?
So I was quite late for applying Canadian universities, because I had a medical emergency. I had appendicitis.
Oh.
So yeah, so I was like, I wanted to apply in November for the university, but I had that operation, so it got delayed to December and January. But fortunately, they were still accepting applications, and that time I had to take like counselor's advice through IDP item for US and Canada both. Canada wasn't great for the IDP. I didn't have a good experience, but for US it was absolutely a great experience with me. But yeah, so I did the whole process of Canada on my own, because there was no support provided. So I just applied on my own, and yeah, in January, even if I applied in January, I got like an admission decision in February or March. So it was quite early. You just have to like a good threshold grades, whatever they have. Like if you have above 85%, there are likely chances you will get admitted. Just make a good personal statement. Just show that you have also done some work outside the university, relate it how university's goal is matching your goal. So you would definitely get into York University that way.
Okay.
But now the threshold is high. It's I think 90 or 95% they want from a student.
Okay.
So now you need to have really, really great marks to get into York University.
Right,
also.
right.
Overall good profile. Yeah, that's it.
Interesting. So once you receive the acceptance letter from York University, what was your initial reaction, or how did your family feel? Can you try and visualize that moment for us? कि ठीक है, पहला acceptance letter आ गया है, now I'm going to Canada, हो गया.
नहीं, so overall सही था, मतलब अच्छा लगा कि हाँ यार कि जिस यूनिवर्सिटी में obviously मैं जैसे कहा कि sustainability का है, उस यूनिवर्सिटी में हो गया तो लगा कि हाँ वहाँ पे जाके यार कुछ तो करेंगे, पढ़ाई के अलावा भी और भी काम करेंगे, कुछ अपना स्टार्टअप चलाएंगे यार, कुछ करेंगे, तो अच्छा लगा वो ओवरऑल एक्सपीरियंस. बट फिर वही था कि पूरा एक जर्नी थी कि क्योंकि और भी यूएस में भी अप्लाई किया था ऑपरेशन से पहले, फिर ऑपरेशन के बाद कनाडा में किया, देन यूके में किया, तो कहीं से रिजेक्शन आ जाता था यूएस में भी, जैसे यूएस से ज्यादातर एनवाईयू के अलावा बाकी आईवी लीग से आ गए. बट तो उस पे ऑब्वियसली दुख होता है कि हाँ यार काश हो जाता है.
सारे आईवी लीग्स ने तुम्हें रिजेक्ट क्यों करा, मतलब व्हाट वाज द रीजन?
I don't know, it's mainly वो होता क्या उनका फाइनेंशियल का भी थिंग होता है, and then I had like a 90, good 90, and made the whole leadership application, stuff like that. I've done my own startups and things. So maybe कुछ lack कर गया, maybe मेरे को I think काउंसलर की थोड़ी बहुत और एडवाइस चाहिए थी जब मैं अप्लाई कर रहा था, तो वो रीजन हो सकता है. एंड द सेकंड रीजन ऑब्वियसली व्हिच दे गिव दैट कि आपको लोन और फिर या फिर फाइनेंशियल सेविंग्स आपको बहुत ज्यादा शो करनी पड़ती है. I-20 ऑब्वियसली इज अ थिंग. अगर आपकी फीस 80,000 60,000 पता नहीं कितनी 70,000 80,000 आई गेस यूएस की, तो अगर आपको उसका उतना उससे यूनिवर्सिटी फीस है, then your living expenses will be about 20 to 30,000 which you have to show on I-20. And that too, like you cannot just show for 1 year, you need to at least show 1 plus some extra funds for second year as well. So overall जो आप money को पूरा शो करते हो वो बहुत ज्यादा अमाउंट होता है, तो अगर आप वो ढंग से ना करो तो it's easy you get it.
All right. So now
NYU was good in this whole process, so good now.
Okay. You also mentioned entrepreneurship a while back, and I want to understand York University कितनी supportive है for folks like you who have entrepreneurship, who want to pursue this whole entrepreneurship की journey.
So York U is quite supportive in entrepreneurship. They have their own program, which is best program for John entrepreneurs in science and technology. So anyone in science and technology especially, and if they want to do their own startup, go with your idea. If you feel like, make a good pitch. That's what I have been doing in the university right now. Working on a project, and maybe soon we could start upon like in university for that project. So you need to get a good idea. You need to think how feasible and viable it is for university and how it's going to help everyone. So अगर अच्छा हुआ तो go over there, pitch them. If they have fun, they will definitely, and usually they have fun, so they are definitely gonna be like, okay, you do the startup, we're gonna pay you. You can hire people, and we're gonna pay them. And that's everything happening inside. So no one's coming up from out there. So they are quite supportive. They help you get a startup thing started if they feel like that, yeah, there's something in it and we could do something.
Okay, all right. So you got into York University and now you're traveling to Canada. Canada पहुंच गए, अपने campus के पास गए हो. Can you tell us the first reaction that you had whilst you saw the whole campus? How was it?
I'm so bad with reactions. All of my friends used to say कि ये reaction भी देता था. So when I went, I was like, wow, that's good, because overall the campus is quite big. There's a lot of greenery. The only reaction where I had like the best reaction, because I saw there's a whole, gaming arcades. Have you been to gaming arcades? Like bowling alley, car games where you go, and then got whole TT table and things like that. So they got a whole, they called it break room.
Okay.
So there's a whole room which is like designed such a nice way. It's looked like a whole gaming hall. We just went from university, and it's like in the school cafeteria, university cafeteria. So you just go over there and it feels like you are in a different place, completely different place. There are so many games. Obviously, you need to pay some small amount to get the tokens and stuff.
Right.
But overall, the whole gaming area, and then the cafes are quite big. There are different places, like 2 to 3 libraries, 2 to 3 student centers to study. Like whichever place you like, maybe a bit high tech zone, high tech place like sofas, good big screens you can connect to. Or if you want to study like normal way, just go to a library on the table and start working with your projects or start.
That's a lot of interesting facilities that York University is providing.
Oh yeah, they have got a lot of things.
But now I wanna understand. इतनी सारी facilities हैं, but इसकी fees कितनी है, expense कितना है, खर्चा कितना होने वाला है international students का?
खर्चा for computer science student it's 30,000 Canadian dollars.
30,000 CAD.
30,000 और उस पे ऊपर आप health insurance $756.
So this is you're telling for 1 year, right?
First year, yeah.
Okay.
4 years का.
Right. ठीक है. एक साल में tuition fee is 30,000 Canadian dollars. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Apart from this, what all other expenses that you were telling about?
So health insurance is expenses, and then there are some courses which you need to get the books itself. There are ways you can get books without buying them as well. But some books are only published specifically, so you need to get them. There are some courses in which you need to get access to a different portal. Like I'm doing an economics course right now. You need to take a lot of different programs because it's just like you're doing computer science. You're just doing computer science. In my first year, I had to take chemistry. I have to take economics as a general education, like something different from my course. So there are a lot of math courses. So in all of those things, you need to buy maybe lab materials, like I bought goggles and lab coat. So they are around $30-40, not a lot, but $30-40. And then there was a subscription I had to buy for giving exams. You need to give extra money along with the fees. So to get access to the portal, I paid like around $115. So there are expenses which you need to pay overall, or maybe like in India, you get whole results like whatever you are doing, like a question. There's a question on the book, for example, and you want a solution. Just go on to the internet, search. You get Byju's, you get Vedanta, everyone telling the response for free. There's nothing like free solution over here. For every solution, you need to get a subscription. Right. So you need to get a subscription to a portal like Quizlet, or there are some other portals you need to get subscription to, and only then you will be able to see the solution. There's no other way. So there are so many different costs, and it's not just about 30,000.
Cool. Okay. So that was about the tuition cost. Now coming upon the living cost that Canada has, right? Where were you staying initially? On campus रुक रहे थे या off campus रुक रहे थे?
Oh no, so I have my cousins over here.
Okay.
So I was like living off. I'm living off campus when I came over here. So they just got me from the airport, and I'm living with them. So it's about 700-800 you could expect rent over here.
800 in a month.
In dollars. Yeah, $700-800.
Okay.
Dollars.
Okay.
You could expect a month. The rent price hiked a lot. So things are obviously because of inflation not going up.
Right.
When I was in UK, everything was expensive over there.
Right.
When I came over there, everything started being
expensive. Of course.
So wherever I'm going, everything is expensive.
Of course. That's a story with all of us, I guess. We all are sailing in the same boat. But ठीक है, 800 CAD में what are the facilities that I'm getting? What is the what's the type of room that I'm getting? Can you elaborate?
To be honest, in 600 to 800 I will come, not exactly 800, but you would get a share, like you need to share it with someone.
Okay.
And that too, like on the outskirts. If you want to go downtown, like nearby the whole nice city, where the buildings are, where everyone sees Toronto is. So you need to get a place over there. You need to pay about $1,200 1300 or 1400
Hmm.
living alone
Hmm.
to be over there, and that to like a small room, shared kitchen. Obviously, you're not getting a kitchen, or you're not getting anything on your own. You just get a room, and then you need to share things with everyone else.
Hmm.
So it's not like you get everything of your own. So if you need a whole one room set, like you need your own kitchen, you need your own bathroom and everything like that, you need to pay about 2,500 Canadian dollars over here
Okay.
to just get one room.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. That's a lot of money. Okay. But ठीक है, you have a 700. You are burning 700 CAD on rent. Apart from that, in a month, what are the other expenses that you are doing? You must be, of course, groceries are there, water bills, electricity bills are there. उनका कितना share है? And then what are the other miscellaneous खर्चे that you are doing?
Yeah. Water and electricity bill तो rent में included हो जाता है most of the places.
ठीक है.
$700-800 में तो वो भी मांगने लगे तो हो गया हमारा.
ठीक है.
तो वो हो गया, and then food, groceries $200-300 लेके चलो, वो भी expensive हो गई है.
Okay.
Overall, इंडिया से आओगे तो बहुत ज़्यादा expensive लगेगी, no doubt. कि मतलब if you want like 1 kilo of tomatoes in India कितना price चल रहा है अभी 30-40 rupees?
हाँ, generally इतना ही रहता है on an average.
है ना? तो you can.
I'm not much of a cook here. I cannot give the specifics.
Same here. So my brother always is like getting things from Collegedunia.
Same. I'll have to call my friends or my family कि टमाटर के भाव कितने चल रहे हैं बता दो.
So why say on like 300 to 40 rupees per kilo, you are expecting the price of a tomato to be. And there are more different things like grocery would be obviously definitely expensive. So $200-300 लेके चलो महीने का, and then there are more costs. Like I personally don't know how to cook a lot. I might be able to cook some things, but not a lot. So sometimes I have to maybe order different service. There are quite a lot of different services over here, so you can definitely go for it. And they are like $10-15.
Tiffin services. Let's say अगर मैं international student हूँ and I book a regular tiffin service for a month, right? Will it be cheaper for me if I compare it to the actual bringing in the grocery and making things?
Technically.
Okay.
अगर आप ग्रोसरी में बहुत एफिशिएंटली लोगे तो आप ग्रोसरी सस्ती पड़ सकती है. लेकिन अगर आप ग्रोसरी ले रहे हो नॉर्मली कि आप फ्रूट भी ले रहे हो, फ्रूट्स तो लोगे ही लोगे, हर बंदा फ्रूट लेगा. इट्स नॉट लाइक यू जस्ट कैन स्टे ऑन टिफिन एंड स्टे हेल्दी. यू नीड टू गेट सम फ्रूट्स. तो फ्रूट्स का तो एक्सपेंसेस आपका लेके चलो $50-60 पर मंथ. एक्सेप्ट दैट टेक अ approximately टिफिन होता है $250 to $300 डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ मच क्वांटिटी यू वांट. So $250 to $300 per month. So technically देखा जाए तो टिफिन सस्ता पड़ जाता है क्योंकि आपको ईज हो रही है कि हाँ आपको खाना बनाया मिल रहा है.
एक टिफिन का कितना कॉस्ट है?
एक टिफिन $15.
$15.
आप you get 1 दाल 1 सब्जी and 4 rotis.
Okay.
So you can
no rice or salad?
No rice.
अच्छा. ठीक है.
इतना नहीं करेंगे.
अच्छा. Okay. ठीक है. All right.
So basically सब्जी सुबह खा ली, दाल रात को खा ली, and you can cook more rotis. Like there are ready-made roti companies. Like in India, Harvest even makes their own rotis. But there are companies like Crispy, which I personally like, which have the ready-made rotis. So just उसको पैन पे डाला, सेका, रोटी बन गई अपनी, अच्छी होती है. उसको सब्जी दिया घर पे खा लिया उसके साथ.
Okay.
So but you don't get it on weekends. So weekends पे cook करना पड़ेगा.
Oh, okay.
That's the twist. You get only 5 days.
Oh, okay, all right.
It will do 20 days in a month.
Okay, ठीक है. Interesting point that you made at the end कि 5 दिन ही टिफिन मिलेगा, उसके अलावा नहीं मिलेगा भाई. तो देख लो weekends पे अपना.
Saturday को व्रत.
Of course. ठीक है. So now let's try and put a pin on a number कि एक महीने में international student का खर्चा कितना होगा, सारे expenses मिला के.
अगर बहुत efficiently चलोगे तब भी 1200-1500 लेके चलो easily. 1200 to 1500 होगा.
अच्छा. 1200 से 1500 कैनेडियन डॉलर्स.
हाँ, क्योंकि फोन का बिल कितना हो गया आपका? $50 फोन का बिल होता है.
आराम से.
50 और 250 खाने का ले लिया हमने फॉर एग्जांपल. टिफिन 300 प्लस हमने 100 ले लिया कि रोटी लिया आपने अलग से और एक्स्ट्रा सेकने के लिए, फ्रूट्स लिए 400, 800 आपको तो मैंने रेंट ही बता दिया 1200. एंड उसके बाद ऊपर नीचे कुछ और बाहर जाओगे, बस का खर्चा, ट्रैवल तो हमने भी बात ही नहीं.
Of course.
Travel is $120, $130 per month.
But then I want to understand. Canadian government tells कि 850 Canadian dollars is the most appropriate amount for any international student to have a decent life in Canada. तो ये बात तो एकदम सच नहीं है फिर.
हाँ, केव में रहोगे तो मैं भी.
All right. Okay. Understood.
तो expenses इन्होंने बढ़ा रखे हैं, मिनिमम वेज भी इन्होंने इतनी इंक्रीजिंग की है एज कम्पेयर्ड. तो यहाँ के खुद के लोग ही जो है वो एक्सपेंस अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते. बीइंग एन इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट ऑब्वियसली आपके लिए डिफिकल्ट होगा. अगर यू आर थिंकिंग यहाँ पे आके कि आप ये अफोर्ड नहीं कर पा रहे, ऐसा मत सोचो, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इवन सिटीजन्स की हाल खराब है. इवन सिटीजन्स यूनिवर्सिटीज जो हमसे फीस लेते हैं $30,000 दे कैन नॉट थिंक ऑफ इट. इनकी फीस होती है डोमेस्टिक, because I have friends which are like domestic students.
Yes.
So their fees like $9,000, and that too they don't need to give. They get something called OSAP, which is a loan, and they pay that loan within 20-30 years of their life. So they like get deducted $50 from every year, every month, from their bank account when they get a job. So they are paying nothing to study. They are paying literally nothing to study. Right. Because they don't. Most of them don't have enough money to pay. And their parents depends on whether they're supporting them or not. So that's that.
Interesting fact about Canada. Of course, इतने सारे खर्चे हैं फिर. What are the earning avenues for international students? Part-time jobs की क्या हालत है तुम्हारे एरिया में?
I would definitely say I have a 1 year experience in retail when I was in the UK and even in management role. I have experience I've done freelance for coding, I have my own charity organization and things like that, but still it's very hard to find a job over here. The problem obviously is that there are so many people who are using malpractices to basically make their resume showing up that, oh, I've done so much of things back in India, maybe they have worked in McDonald's, West Side, and things like that. Which never happens in India.
Of course.
Showing fake experiences, or maybe even showing fake Canadian experiences, and because of that, the whole job situation in the Canada is has followed. So, जो लोग experience झूठ लिख देते हैं, experience में कि हाँ मैंने इतना समय का काम कर रखा है, इतना ये कर रखा है, इतना वो कर रखा है, और उनको कुछ भी experience भी नहीं है, they get the jobs. And जो लोगों के पास रियल एक्सपीरियंस है and जो सिस्टम में नए आ रहे हैं उनको पता नहीं भाई ये करना पड़ रहा है, और जो कि नहीं करना चाहिए. To be honest, I don't prefer. Why would I add something wrong on my resume? I honestly don't like it. It's like you need to be honest and equitable.
Of course.
So अब जो लोग नहीं कर रहे उनको jobs मिल रही हैं easily. And depends on overall what job you are looking after. If you're looking after a job in Tim Hortons, like the cafes, cafe jobs or food jobs might be easy for you to get in.
Acha, okay. I have a question over here. Tell me 3 jobs जो कि easy to find है for any international student.
Easy to find, obviously, as I said, Tim Hortons. Usually go to place where people apply to.
Okay.
Tim Hortons हो गया, cafe, food is basically the thing. I would say the whole food restaurants is basically the place you could go. You just need to go in with the resume and they're gonna, if they have opportunity, you get it. If you don't, then you don't get it, because they are not using the whole HR process and things like that to get people for jobs. But if you want to be more like I personally am applying for retail jobs, more like companies which sell electronics or which sell mobile phones and stuff like that. There's a whole different process to go online, make a good resume, apply for that job. There's a whole 2 to 3 months processing. That's what I am waiting for. There's a whole
usually
assessment and phone interview, video interview, the good job.
Usually not a lot of international students, start their part-time jobs into the field जिसके बारे में maybe उनका past experience है या फिर वो already उसकी पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं. But you are choosing a different course of action here.
Yeah, so you don't obviously get a job in the field you are doing, like computer science, which इतनी easily job नहीं मिलेगी. You can get if you pitch nicely in your university, you might be able to get on-campus job related to your field. That's something different. On-campus job के लिए you need to make a good resume. You need to show everything else. Like I just recently got an on-campus job. in the AI healthcare section. So AI for healthcare. So it's connected to my degree, and I'm basically controlling the whole, executing the whole marketing event and the things happening like that. So, but I am personally applying to for a sales job because and a technology job because in the UK I applied for it, and the UK job system is still fine. You get a job more easily than Canada, and I got a good job, and I was working in a good position. So I don't want to go back down to the basics, and I want to stay on the role I was in before. So that's the reason I'm applying for better job over here as well, and not trying to go back to the basics, like maybe work in a cafe and things like that. I never worked in a cafe. I started with a better, like a good position, and I made my way throughout in the organization. Like if you just be a good employee, make good sales, communicate effectively, you get into good positions. But obviously, you need to first get into that position to make everyone aware that how things work.
Right.
That's
Okay.
technically like how everything works in here in jobs.
Okay.
Corporate jobs.
Okay. All right. Now, because we are touching the part-time job wala thing, I want to understand कि अभी minimum wage कितना चल रहा है for international students?
In Toronto, they just increased from 15.50 to 16.50.
16.50. And in a week, how many hours are you allowed to?
You can only work 20 hours. And personally, I would say if you're coming to university like York, not colleges, like some people come to colleges and the workload is very less in university. But when you come to university like York, or even if you go to university like Waterloo or Toronto, you are expecting a lot of study workload, and you will not be able to do exactly 20 hours. You can miss some 2 days of your day, 2 days of your week, but you cannot do a lot of things because you will be lacking on your studies. There are a lot of assignments, there is stuff to do every week, there are labs which you need to prepare for, there are quizzes, there are exams, midterms. Like I have midterms like just a week ago, so, and there are another midterm just next week. So there's so many of things. You just get 1 week of maybe taking rest, and even that rest you need to prepare for the next midterm, then go through the exams again, and then after that midterm there's going to be final exams. So things keep going on. It's just the starting of the university. Starting 1 month of the university is quite slow, so that you get accommodated, you get adapted to the whole environment. But after that, there's so much of things to do that you won't be able to get a lot of time to work. That's what I want to summarize. You need to, obviously you're investing a lot of money. You are investing 30,000 Canadian dollars on your studies, so you need to make sure that you pass the subject. If you fail, you need to take that course again, and you're giving $3,000 again.
Right. That's gonna be a huge amount, of course. Okay. Did you not go for any scholarships for such in York University?
So I got the scholarship. So they had their Lassonde scholarship, Lassonde entrance scholarship. Basically, Lassonde is a school of engineering.
Okay.
Where I am basically like school, like they have specific colleges, like we have in India, like in DU we have different colleges for different subjects.
Right.
Similarly, York University have Lassonde as their computer science college. So so I got the entrance scholarship, which was the highest they could pay, which was 2,000 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
They are not really generous people. So
ये scholarship मिली कैसे, and this amount was deducted only in the first semester या फिर सारे semesters?
30,000 Canadian dollars, just minus 2,000, 28,000.
But that's for all the semesters, for all the years, right?
For all the years, yeah.
Okay.
But if you get good marks in first year, like I've been trying to get a good percentage, like 80-90%, or maybe above 90 if you get, you will be getting again a 2,000 or 1,500 scholarship for your academic excellence, or try to get involved in stuff which makes you recognizable inside the university, so you're going to get benefits, obviously.
Okay.
So that's kind of the thing that's going to happen. But as I said, I was late applying because of my operations and stuff like that, because I had like the appendicitis. So I could have applied for leadership scholarship, which I'll be applying this year, and would have probably got into it. But yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, all right.
You can apply for leadership scholarship, and you may be able to get 5,000 for first year also.
Perfect. Understood. cool. Now I want to understand, यार, of course, खर्चे बहुत सारे हैं, living cost काफी high है, tuition fee काफी high है. Have you taken any loans, or how are you funding your studies?
So I was working obviously, so I had my own savings, and then it's most of savings are for parents. So I haven't got me the loan yet, because obviously loan loge, then the interests are quite high. I think it's about 15-16%.
Yeah, matlab everything differs.
Yeah, it's compound interest. So when I was applying for US, the reason I didn't go, and even if I would have got into Ivy League, I wouldn't have gone there, because when you take a loan, even the loan company gives you the loan for 4 years, you are getting a 15 or 16% compounding interest on each year. So at the end of the day, after the 4th year, your amount doubles. So if you had a loan of 40 lakhs, you're paying 80 lakhs, 40 lakhs is just interest. And you will be paying in starting the whole interest, clearing that off, and then you will be at a point where you're like, okay, now it's the time for principal.
Right.
So loan is not like just take 40 lakh, give back 40 lakh, or 12%. Oh, that's small. You're gonna know what happens afterwards. There are online calculators for that. To see how much you end.
Right. So what do you think? Let's say if you would have taken a loan, right? And York University से pass out होने के बाद कितने टाइम में तुम वो पूरा लोन चुका पाते?
I think अगर आप overall अच्छा co-op होते हैं, जैसे हमारे यहाँ ऑप्शन होता है, आपको सेकेंड ईयर के बाद co-op अलाउड होता है. So you can work for 4, 12 or 18 months, I think. So might be wrong. 16 months भी हो सकता है. So you can work for those periods. If you get a good job, you need to make a good resume, you need to get good scores, you need to show that you were involved inside the university overall. And if you get a job in co-op related to your degree, you get about like a very better salary than a minimum wage. About $20, sometimes $22.5. So you work for that for 4 or 8 months. Like basically each semester is 4 months.
Right.
So,
okay.
All winter, summers usually everyone takes off, go back to their home countries, or just work full time. You can work full time in summers. So yeah, so you need to do co-ops overall in that 4 years. So the degree is not just 4 years. When you are doing co-op, a lot of people think you are getting credits. Obviously you are getting money and you are getting some credits, but you still need to complete the old credits. So it's a credit system. You need to complete 120 credits. Each course is worth of 3 credits. So if you are taking co-op, you are getting extra credits, but you still need to do your 4th year. So like 3rd year. So if you do 2nd year, then after 2nd year you have done co-op for at least a year, then your degree is now 5 years, because now you need to do 3rd year and 4th year as well anyways. So you are increasing of the time of your degree, but you are getting work experience in that. So that work experience plays a role that at the end of the day, after the 4th year, you're going to get a good job or not, because you already have experience in co-op. Like you have worked with companies, you have worked at a position. So the companies are going to see, okay, he has worked really great. So yeah, we'll hire. That's kind of a thing. But York University, as I said, they promote entrepreneurs. So you can start something of your own in between the university, maybe like 3rd, 4th year. And university is going to support you, and maybe something gets bigger and you just start. But you just keep it continued after the university.
Right.
So that's how you're going to do. But it's quite unpredictable. It's not like everyone gets a job and goes out to the university.
But let's say तुम्हारा जो भी senior batch होगा, या you might also have some friends in the senior batch as well. उनका हाईएस्ट पैकेज कितना गया है, एवरेज पैकेज कितना गया है, लोएस्ट पैकेज कितना गया है, इफ यू हैव एनी आइडिया?
टू बी ऑनेस्ट, सब यहाँ पे ये सबको भी बताता नहीं है. सबका इतना दे रिस्पेक्ट सो मच प्राइवेसी. यहाँ पे इंडिया की तरह भी नहीं कोई ग्रेड शेयर करे अपने साथ, या टीचर ऐसे क्लास में किसी का ग्रेड बता दे. दे रिस्पेक्ट टू मच प्राइवेसी. इवन इंडियंस, क्योंकि 4 साल लोग यहाँ पे रहते हैं, वो लोग कैनेडियन ही बन जाते हैं ऐसे. आई अंडरस्टैंड, अपने इंडिया का भूल जाते थे. बट so about I would say 60,000 one day, कि 60,000 Canadian dollars बंदा लेके चल सकता है, कि entry level रहता है 40,000 मिल सकता है. So technically I would say 2,000 Canadian dollars per month. So मैं minimum लेके चलूँगा कि entry level किसी को मिली 2,250 per month, and then it could obviously grow as you are doing. मास्टर्स वाले जो होते हैं उनका कभी कभार जो अच्छा कर लेते हैं उनका 100K का पैकेज भी लग जाता है. So 60K आई एम बीइंग टू ऑप्टिमिस्टिक, सो अगर आप
Okay.
बहुत अच्छा करो बैचलर में 60K का पैकेज आप लेके चलो,
Hmm.
एंड डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ ग्रेट कनेक्शंस यू मेक. सो यूनिवर्सिटी में कंपनीज आती रहती हैं, करियर फेयर होते रहते हैं. अगर आप उनसे अच्छे कनेक्शंस बना के रखोगे, रिलेशनशिप बना के रखोगे, बात करते रहोगे, सो यू विल गेट अ गुड जॉब. दे यू विल हैव कनेक्शंस कि हाँ यार आपने कॉल की एंड दे आर लाइक ओके वी हैव अ पोजीशन, कम फॉर इंटरव्यू और मे बी रेफर देम.
Okay, so networking plays a very important role when it comes to
Exactly.
placements.
Exactly.
Okay. What do you have planned for yourself once you graduate from York University? What kind of roles are you going to look for, and how are you going to do it?
I am personally like looking for getting into like a developer, obviously.
Okay.
I am more into starting something of my own, and that's what I would be working in the university for, along with the other team we have at the campus. So I'm trying to do something like that, like work towards the community and like basically improving the community around me. So kind of working on that. But overall, I have my own projects which I think of, which I'll be doing once I complete my degree. So obviously, in starting, I would need to do some job for 1 or 2 years. In co-op, I'll need to work as a developer or anything which like what type of job I get. Maybe it really depends on how you're going to do something on your own. University teaches you stuff, but you need to learn coding, programming languages on your own.
Right.
To get a job, you need to make your own projects to get a job, and that's what I'm looking to like start working upon soon. Obviously, it's so much to do that you need to plan accordingly how you want to do. But yeah, I have aim that I will try to do as much co-op as I can.
Okay.
And then obviously I'll try to make good connections so that I could, if my startup doesn't work out that time, I'll probably try applying a job for a developer, obviously, because I am more into Python and backend development and things like that. MLAI, maybe I would think of going into data science because my even cousin is in data science. So I do, it fascinates me what he's doing. So it depends really, and yeah. So I'll probably apply for such a job, and then at the end of the day, my aim is to start something of my own.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you have plans to live in Canada, stay in Canada after your graduation. Are you going for PR or not?
I just don't plan so much.
Okay.
I'm like, I'll let things go by the flow because you never know what's going to happen. I was planning when I was applying to university, like, okay, I'm going to do this on September, this on November, this on December. Then I got a medical emergency in between. Every plan just goes away. You need to make plans, but you obviously need to take in consideration that things are going to happen randomly in life. So not everything's going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. So
all right.
That's what I try to look for. Depends on what's going to be situation of Canada. Like for now, Canada's situation is really bad as you know, because of conflicts between India and Canada.
Yes.
So things got expensive over here. Maybe if India stops sending things from here, or maybe there's a war or anything like that. War is very like kind of thing which won't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
There are things which could happen. So it really depends, and there are more places I want to explore before stopping at just a place. Maybe trying to go Europe and get my master's done over here. I quite like Germany. So I'm thinking like maybe go for a master's in computer science itself, or maybe an MBA degree.
Okay.
So
that's great.
Kind of like that, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So before getting a PR, before settling in some place, I wanna like explore more stuff, more things, which is the best for me. Before like just because everyone is getting a PR.
Okay, perfect. I think we are done with all the questions. I am done with all the questions that I had in mind. Aarush, can we play a small rapid fire round with you and pretend to be the Karan Johars of studying abroad, right?
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So make sure that your answers are very precise, very quick, and also fiery as well. So my first question is, tell me a pro and a con about your program.
Pro is you get to do a lot of things. The program overall is one of the best programs from York University. York University's McLean ranking is very good in particularly computer science, and you get hands-on experience, experiential learning. Con is you don't get life for your own time.
Okay.
You own time for your life because it's so much to do. You might feel overwhelmed, but taking a bit of breaks in between would be fine. But yeah, it's quite a pressurized environment when you have so many things to do.
Okay. Next question. In just one sentence, explain your campus life.
Campus life for me, I'm off campus, but still it's quite nice. There are bonds and things like that. So once I'm done with my studies, I just go outside, sit in nature, and maybe by the pond and just see ducks and things like that. Take some time, try to blend in with the nature, or just there are some Indian restaurants, just go over there and have a samosa.
Okay, perfect. एक बढ़िया समोसा किसको नहीं पसंद है? All right. So, cool. Your favorite hangout spot at the York University?
I would say the restaurant to have a samosa. That's my favorite hangout spot because all friends, when we all get finished from our classes, we just go over there, sit over there, have a tea and a samosa, and that's like kind of thing which we all go for. Okay. How many Indians do you have in your batch? Indians, there are Indians, but there are Canadian Indians as well, a lot.
Okay.
York University do have international students, but there are less Indian international students inside it, and there are more Indian students who are domestic, so they are Canadians basically. So I would say 40%, 30%, 40%, 30% class would be Indians, but rest of the people are from different countries, or many of them, majority of the people in York University are Canadians. Even like the people who are from America or from England who migrated over to Canada.
Okay. So, another question. Tell me one part-time job that will give you a higher wage than what is out there average.
Try on-campus jobs if you can. They definitely are going to give you higher wage, and you can work as many hours you want, but you need to prepare a lot for that, and you need to look out for opportunities. Second, just to give a bit gist of off-campus as well, sales jobs are the best. Sales jobs, it will take time to get a job in sales. The whole process is long, but that's the best job. Okay, perfect.
All right. Now, if you have to change one thing about York University, what would that be?
A bit of, I feel like the food is quite expensive in York University. If you eat on campus, anything like that, if you haven't got your own food. So I would like to change as the prices of the food over there to make it a bit cheaper for students.
Okay, perfect.
So, yeah, that kind of thing.
Perfect. Final question now. Out of 10, try and rate York University.
Out of 10, I would probably rate it around 8. Yeah, I would rate 8.
Okay, 2 marks क्यों काट रहे हो?
2 marks इसलिए काट रहा हूँ क्योंकि obviously I didn't mention about it, but York University is just by a place which is called Jane and Finch. Just everyone is aware who is applying for York University. Jane and Finch is the most haunted and the most unsafe area in the whole Toronto and Canada. So any person who goes over there, it's quite unlikely it's gonna come safe. So it's kind of fine. If you stay on campus, there's so many security people, they won't let you go over there, or they won't let anyone from outside to come and get problems in here. And if you are not going out over there at night, you're fine, you're safe. But the 2 points I deduct is because of the environment, which is like the nearby places have been a bit better. Obviously, they cannot move the whole university now, but they might be able to work on that place and get it safer.
Of course, understood. Okay. So I think this has been a very insightful conversation here, and all of us have learned a lot of things about York University. Thank you so much, Aarush, for giving us your time. And do you want to give a final advice to all the international students that are maybe aspiring to, go abroad, study in Canada, or anywhere for that matter?
Yeah, I would say look for something, obviously, which resonates with you, which is like something which you want to do in university. Just don't go out because everyone is going out. Try to find a purpose behind why you are going out. Then that's going to be the best way you would be able to get into application, because you know what you're going to write in your personal statement, why I want to go to university. You just cannot say, I want to get a PR, I want to get a good job, that's why I want to. but there needs to be things. There needs to be a purpose behind everything. So just think about it, why you want to go, and yeah, that would be the best. And in case anyone has any questions extra, so they can put it down in the video's comments, or
Of course,
maybe
of course.
if you want, you could put my
Yes,
LinkedIn.
we will be doing that to all our viewers. We will be attaching Aarush's LinkedIn profile ka URL in our description box. If you feel you want to connect with him, talk to him regarding other things, go say a hi to him. And if you feel there's any more questions left for York University, you have any other questions regarding studying in Canada or studying abroad in general, just put it down in the comment section. I will be replying to everything quickly. So, okay, that's it from my side. Thank you so much, Aarush, and hope you have a good life out there. Okay,
Thank you so much for inviting
Bye.
me.
Bye. Okay, so that was everything about the York University and Arush's journey of studying in the Canada. If you have any questions and queries about York University or studying in Canada, comment below. I will be responding to all your comments and let me know the thoughts about this video. We will be back again with another international student. Till then, stay tuned to Collegedunia Study Abroad. Keep giving this love to us, and I will be seeing you in the next video. This is me, Swapnil, signing off. Bye.